Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon. Bonjour, guten tag, bom dia, buenos dias, buenas tardes, wherever you're located. Welcome. Welcome to a new session and new day of our lowcode marathon. I'm the sales director with Creatio, and I'm very proud and happy to present to you the first session of today. So let's get things started. We're going to spend about the next 20 minutes or so together, and we're going to talk about low-code powered future and how you can build a low-code organization and a digital-first organization in your company. So a quick intro on who we are at Creatio and what we do. So Creatio is a software technology vendor. We specialize in CRM, process management, process automation, and low-code, no-code technology. We are a global company, and we are proud to have more than 650, if not close to 700 employees around the globe. And we have a large network of 700 partners, system integrators all around the globe and covering presence in more than 110 countries. We also are highly recognized by key industry analysts, such as Gartner and Forrester. Imagine any type of quadrants around Salesforce automation, business process management, customer engagement, and we are very often very well positioned in those quadrants and waves. And our mission at Creatio is to help you accelerate with your digital transformation initiative, leveraging low-code and no-code technology. What is a low-code and no-code company? You probably see and hear a lot of different definitions and understanding, but this is one easy one that you can have in mind. A low-code, no-code company is a digital-first organization where every employee can become a citizen developer, and they can create new application and processes leveraging low-code technology without having any IT and coding skill required. There are 5 essential criteria to help you measure and achieve your goal to become either a software company or a low-code, no-code company. You want to be digital driven, digital first culture. How important is it to you to innovate and provide the best customer experiences, both to your employees, but also to your partners and customers? The concept where everyone is a developer, everyone can be a developer, you're probably going to hear it a lot, and we put a lot of emphasis on this, but this is a strong differentiator to success. Applications that can be rolled out in days, weeks, not months or years. This is the era where we are, and it is possible, okay? We talk about CRM. We all have different experiences where implementation of CRM or even other type of integration or application usually would take a long time. So these times can change today, and hopefully, again, as soon as right after this presentation. Processes needs to be orchestrated efficiently and smoothly, and we can also spend some time here, and where you want to ensure that the technology, the people, and the processes are well integrated and connected together. There are 3 core components that are also driving those initiatives. You've probably seen other presentations from our low-code marathon. We talk a lot about the 3 pillars of people, process, and technology. Technology comes in third. It does not come in first or second, okay? It's very often misunderstood or thought that technology is the problem solver. No, technology is an enabler to help you solve your challenges and your problems, but it has to be well positioned based on how your processes are and how you want your processes to be, and who is going to drive those initiatives, both from the evaluation to the implementation. And these pillars are fundamental. People in the company, key assets for driving low-code companies. You have citizen developers and pro developers. Let's start with pro developers. You have Java coders, .NET, Python, a multitude of coding skills that are not yet to disappear, but where you could see, for instance, a shortage in some resources. The challenge when it's driven only by IT is how adaptable and maintainable is the system if your developers leave the company. Another type of population that is emerging and that we encourage you to empower are the citizen developers. You have end users that could be just a sales representative using his CRM for his lead and opportunity management, but you could also have power users, folks that are maybe more tech savvy and also well understand the idea of automating business ideas or processes and can bridge the gap between IT and business. Creatio can cover the entire population that goes from no code to low code or citizen developer to business-led developer, providing that framework of coding extension points for IT teams and low code, no code pre-built out of the box for business teams. What can you automate with low code? Well, let me tell you a lot. And even this slide does not summarize the multitude of use cases that you can think of. Okay, I'm not going to teach you how and where and what processes you need to automate. I'm just going to give you some areas to invite you to think about while you want to drive your innovation in low code driven strategy. You can think of anything around requests, approvals, where you have exchange of information between people and where a system does not track the activity. Very often the system are good at doing either sales or marketing or HR management or travel expenses, but the connectivity between those applications and what happens between the people in the middle is hard to govern. So perfect example could be a new employee. So an employee onboarding program is a process itself. A request for a discount on a sales proposal or reviewing a master agreement for sales negotiation is a process itself. Streamlining manufacturing operations and building pharmaceutical products or building trucks or devices is also a process. So you could either think of task management, approval, workflows, document management, but also have an idea of within a business unit or for the collaboration between all these business units that you can see in this slide. And with processes and technology has to come agility, okay? So a good sentence and I like to share is Charles Darwin, who said that it's not the strongest of the species that survive, it's the one that is the most adaptable to change. Okay, we all are living in a virtual world. This is COVID today. Is the way that we are operating and working today similar than it was a year ago or even 6 months ago? I personally feel that our processes are changing all the time and that we need to be quicker, more adaptable, hence wanting to have that system to sustain it. There are several requirements or capabilities in choosing the right technology, or you can think of areas that are going to help your team accelerate in building those applications. Graphical tools, visually modeling. Think of a Visio. Imagine you designing a process, connecting people and process, or people and systems. Drag and drop capabilities, security, making sure that all the devices can be leveraged using those technologies. Out of the box functionality, the more you can have pre-built in the platform, the more time you can save in either designing a process or integrating with the backend. It's not only now how to navigate or drive a very powerful car. We want to give you a lot of options and even already pre-built accelerating features that help you drive faster your car for innovation. There are growing and ongoing challenges, growing IT backlogs, lack of IT skilled developers. Think about if a team or someone develops a custom application and that person leaves the company or disappears, how are you going to take over that technology? And that's very often and interesting when we talk with most of our customers is they invest 3 to 5 years in one technology and then they maybe reach the end of a cycle or a challenge in being able to make this platform adapt, either because it was not maybe low code or no code driven, or they didn't have the right people to do it. Misalignment between business and IT, it's very important as well. Who knows better the business than business people? But who knows better than governance and security than IT teams? Hence the collaboration being very important on both of these teams. To summarize, of benefits of becoming a low-code and no-code company for people, they can be, and you want them to be, curious, creative, digital savvy, and highly productive. Efficiency, 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 okay? We can be the most efficient as we want. We will never be efficient enough, but it's a goal when we want to go to that outcome. For the processes, being efficient, again, agile, aligned, and orchestrated. And for the software, one that is responsive, adaptable to different devices, and with an up-to-date technology that you can deploy at a lower cost. If you delegate that to citizen developers, you will not have to have an IT dedicated budget for product development and implementation, and that can be seamlessly integrated. Quick poll for you, all attendees and members. Why do you think organizations are embracing low code, no code development today? So I will let the group respond and share their insights, and we will share those results also shortly during the event. Okay. Let me give you some live examples or insights on what you can think about from different departments. Okay, so we've selected a few. The first is a sales department or a marketing department. What low code can help you do is to build real-time dashboards and increase your customer acquisition and retention rates. Not only to better manage your operations, but to have a better view and to be able to measure, say, who are my top customers? Which one bring the most revenue? What was the cycle? How happy or unhappy they are with the interaction that we have with them, or even with the result and post acquisition. You can leverage machine learning, and we provide embedded AI and machine learning. What great example for a sales team is based on product and services sold to an organization. You can have a best recommended product based on previous history and previous orders from similar customers in the same industry or in another segmentation. You want the systems to be easily configurable and adaptable to your process. That, in a constant changing environment, like as I mentioned, our process can change potentially, I hope not every day, but they can change on a very regular basis. For a customer service department, okay, so think post-sales or operations department, you can also provide self-service usage or self-service portals, okay? We all love to learn by ourselves. Even in the choice of a technology, more than half of the evaluation is done prior to engaging with a sales rep, okay? We know that customers do not always love talking with sales rep, especially early in their evaluation process, because they don't want to be influenced. But self-service is key. I have an issue. I would rather resolve the issue myself, and I will call my customer support if I don't have any other issue, okay? Connectivity, empowering multi-channel engagement using social media, using APIs, connectivity for interrupted services. You want to produce and reduce response time, measure SLAs, provide 24/7 support in some cases. Machine learning can also help you with predictability around different operations and analytics from an end-to-end perspective as well. And for an IT department, okay, we talk about citizen developer, IT is still important. They can empower power users or citizen developer to bridge the gap between business and IT. They can learn and leverage low-code technology. It doesn't mean that IT loves to code, but they also love to not having to do the same thing over and over again. So reusability of the components, leveraging low-code is going to be important for him. Having a centralized governance. I mentioned and talked about shadow IT. The more you give to business people, the more risk you have of having local applications. But you can have a centralized platform shared by business teams and IT teams that's going to reassure IT that you're going to have maybe one source of data or one governance or security compliance to make sure that we reduce and avoid that shadow IT. Okay. So how to create a local company, just to summarize, and I'll also present a couple use cases and then we can go into Q&A. First, bring the everyone is developer culture in the company. It starts from people, identify the personas that are curious, that want to be innovative, and that want to be sponsored in driving those initiatives. And you can give them also the right tools so they can be free and creative in bringing those next generation applications. Incorporate low-code to your software strategy. Involve and include IT teams as well. It is not just a driven or a business-driven solution. You can create governance policies, okay? You want to make sure that leveraging the right tools, using the right processes and how documented it is, it's going to help the teams of tomorrow as well to make sure that everything is efficient. You can create centers of excellence as well, combining citizen developer with pro developers for brainstorming sessions, for governance on best practices, on making sure that you can learn and leverage and share your ideas, okay? It's not a one-on someone from sales or marketing. Maybe what the sales team is doing in a very timely manner can help the finance or HR team to say, oh, we had not considered that we could even have business users in making the changes and automating our processes directly. And last but not the least, continuous improvement, collecting feedback. We are at the start of this era that is here to last for a very long time. So we are humble to share practices, and we are humble enough to share feedback to know how we can best improve ourselves in a constant, regular basis. Okay, so a couple real life examples. The first one is ENT Credit Union, which is an insurance and credit union company in the US, where their project and intention was to deploy a next generation CRM. This is how they call it, to improve member and employee experience, improve communications, track leads, but also empower their indirect members, not directly the ones that were for part of their employee headcount or sales teams. And so we've helped them meet two needs: to manage all the entire business relationship operations effectively, improve the onboarding of those new external members and partners of third-party sales. And this has been done, at least on the first application, deployed in just 3 months. And we served also as a centralized platform for the entire automation of sales and lead management processes. The second use case is a very interesting one from the government in Israel, the Ministry of Transport and Road Safety, that needed also to have an agile system to manage their country roads infrastructure and transportation network. Okay, so they were very complex driven as well, and as to the extent of what they wanted to do. And what they've done is they've leveraged low code and use process management and CRM to digitally coordinate the operation between the team, to accelerate the launch of their new project and further developments that's going to last for years and years. So managing infrastructure, managing their products, providing visibility at all stages was an important and very different asset as well. And so for our Q&A session, I'm happy to take some questions for you. Good, so I see one first question here that is, how easy can I use low code without having to code. Okay, so we talk about low code and no code. So if you are a citizen developer, if you are a marketing member or a sales member and you don't have any coding skills, what you can do is, on top of managing your operations, you can automate and you can make changes on how you want the application to look just using drag and drop and built-in capabilities. Okay. We also, for instance, use marketplaces and extensions that you can, for instance, if you want to leverage social media for multi-channel communication or add surveys, there's a lot of Lego pre-built add-ons that you can do without coding. Okay. It's a great platform for not only users, but also managers and leaders to have a global view and imagine a system that is shared without the entire organization. But you, as an individual, you can, with the fields and customization, make sure that the application is the way that you want the information to be seen. Okay. Second question. Oh, that's a good one. Where can, or what is recommended to have the data stored when it comes to managing those type of operations? That is interesting because it will really depend on the nature of the industry, but typically we offer two deployment models. You can do a SaaS model, which is hosted usually with us on AWS, on Amazon or Microsoft, or you can also have an on-premise. Okay. And last question, if you had one tip to share about what you think will drive success for the next generation of software companies or in building and creating software companies in your organization, it's something I shared in the presentation. I really think it's a combination of the empowerment of the business users. And it's interesting enough to see that it's very well underused today, with the ability to make changes smoothly and efficiently. Perfect. So we've reached the end of our 20 minutes, just a little bit above. I hope that this session was insightful. If you would like to connect and talk further, you can find me on LinkedIn, or I'm sure from our entire agenda. I wish you a great rest of the day and enjoy the following sessions. Thank you. Bye-bye.